Well, hello, little math masters. Today we're on lesson 1.6. And if you want to follow along in your math book, it is page 33. So today we're doing algebra, different names for numbers. Our essential question is, how can you show the value of a number in different ways? So let's watch Jessie Bear introduce this lesson.
How can you show the value of a number in different ways?
Well, hi there! It sure is a nice day for collecting acorns. Just look at the big pile of acorns I've already collected. I wonder how many I have. Could you help me? Click the pile of acorns to help me count them. Wow! I found 43 acorns. I bet we can show the number of acorns in different ways. Come on, let's go find out how.
Syed has 27 rocks. What are some different ways to show 27 with blocks? You can show 27 with 27 ones blocks. You can write what you've shown as 0 tens, 27 ones. Let's find another way to show 27. Trade 10 ones for 1 10. How many tens and ones are shown now? Now there are 1 10 and 17 ones in this model. Let's find a third way to show 27. Trade another 10 for 1 10. Now how many tens and ones are shown? There are 2 tens and 7 ones in this model. First, 27 was shown with 0 tens and 27 ones. Then 27 was shown with 1 10 and 17 ones. Now 27 is shown with 2 tens and 7 ones. These are 3 different ways to show 27. There are different ways to show the number 36. Here is one way. How many tens and ones are in this model? There are 3 tens and 6 ones in this model of 36. 3 tens and 6 ones can be written as 30 plus 6. Let's find another way to show 36. Think about how you can trade one of the blocks. This is another way to show 36. You can trade one of the tens blocks for 10 ones. How many tens are there now? Great job! There are 2 tens in this model. How many ones are there now? Great job! There are 16 ones in this model. How can 2 tens and 16 ones be written using addition? Great job! 2 tens, 16 ones can be written as 20 plus 16. Let's find another way to show 36. Think about how you can trade another one of the blocks. This is another way to show 36. One of the tens blocks was traded for 10 ones. How many tens and ones are in this model of 36? Great job! The model shows 11026 ones. How would 11026 ones be written using addition? Great job! 11026 ones can be written as 10 plus 26. All three models show the number 36. Now let's practice. Now try.
Thanks for helping me show a number in different ways. See you soon!
So, boys and girls, here is our problem. Syed has 26 rocks. So, we need to show how we can show 26 in 3 different ways using the tens blocks. So, use our tens blocks to show the number 26 in different ways and record the tens and ones. So we're going to switch screens over to where I have some tens rods, and then we're going to work out this problem. Okay, so we want to show the number 26. So let's go ahead and write 26 up at the top of this page so that we know that we're working with 26. Well, if we draw a line right down the middle, we know that on this side is the tens. So I can write tens here. Ooh, that's a little big. Okay, tens. And over on the other side are the ones. Okay, so that's a little messy, but we get the idea. The tens are on the left and the ones are on the right. So we can first show 2 tens, and here's the tens. So I think if I grab my arrow, I can show 2 tens. There's a 10, and there's a 10. And then how many ones? That's right, 6. Now, if you don't have your tens blocks and little ones cubes, then you'll be drawing quick pictures. And remember that for tens, we draw straight lines, and for ones, we draw little circles. Okay, so now would you say that's 26? 2 tens, which is equal to 20, plus 6. And so we can go ahead and write 20 plus 6 underneath. 20 plus 6. And of course, that does equal 26. Now, let's look at these little tens rods here. Do you know that a tens rod is made up of 10 ones? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if we took one of these tens and we cut it into 10 parts, it would still be 26, but it would just look a little differently. So another way we can show it, let's draw a line right here. So that's one way we can show it. So let's show it the next way, where we trade this 10 for 10 ones. Okay, so see in our second drawing here, we still have 26. We have 2 tens and we have 6 ones. But right now we're going to take this 110 and we are going to show it as 10 ones instead of 110. It'll still be the same. So all we did was we broke apart one 10 stick into 10 little ones. It's almost like taking scissors and cutting it apart. So we still have 26, but this time we'll be writing 26 a little differently. We only have 1 10, and so we would write 1 10, and how many ones? There's 10 and 6. And what is 10 plus 6? That's right, it would be 16 ones. So that's another way to write 26. Now there's still a third way. Let's draw another little line. We still have a 10 that we could break into ones. We could also think of a 10 as like a dime, because a dime is worth 10 cents. And we could think of the ones as pennies, because pennies are worth one cent. So if we broke this last 10 into ones, we would have 26 ones. So let's see what that would look like in the last one. And here we go. So we don't have any more 10s, do we? Do you see any 10s, Rods, in this third example of 26? No, but we know this is a group of 10, and this is a group of 10, and this is 6. So we have 10, 20, 26. We still have 26, but this time we do not have any 10s. We only have 26 ones. So in the first one, we have 2 10s and 6 ones. And this is really a drawing that we're more used to seeing with our 10s and ones, with the least amount of ones possible. But we want you to know that you can trade a 10 for ones. So that's how we're going to show this problem on our paper. So we're going to go back to our paper now. So on our paper, we are going to show the 3 different ways to show the number 26. So on your paper, you could write 26, because that's the number that we're going to show. So we could put that somewhere just so we know. And let's draw some quick pictures of 26. Now you have to make sure that you leave enough room to show 3 different ways. So for 26, we can start out with 2 10s and 6 ones. Okay, and then in the next drawing, we're going to take 1 10 away. So just draw, and you could draw a line down, because our next drawing is going to show 1 10, but instead of the second 10, we are just going to show ones. So we have to make 10 ones. This might take a little while, but I always make 5 down at a time so that I could count by 5s. So we've just shown 20 with 1 10 and then 10 ones, that's 20. So we have how many more left to show? That's right, 6. So there's our second way. And here we could write, well, let's save it, because we can write down at the bottom. And then our last way, do you remember how we're going to take away another 10 and show another 10 ones? So how many ones will that be? Well, we're going to have to do 10 more. We're going to have to do 26 altogether. So I kind of like to group the ones together. So I know that put 10 ones together, it makes them a lot easier to count. So now we have to do a second group of 10. So I put 5 down on each column. And then 6. Okay, boys and girls, I hope you were able to draw those. And then at the bottom, we have a place here where we can write each of our, how many tens and ones in each of our drawings. So our first drawing, how many tens did we have? Yes, 2. And how many ones? That's right, 6. And in our second drawing, how many tens did we have? We just drew 1, but a lot more ones this time. We had 10 and 6. And how many is that? That's right, 10 plus 6 is 16. And for the number 26, if it's all ones, it's just all together. How many tens did we draw? 0. And how many ones? That's right, we drew 26. And now I would like you to look at the numbers and let's talk about the patterns that these numbers are making in the tens and the ones. So you can pause the video and talk about it and look and see what you think. Okay, so you see in our first model, we showed the most tens that we could show was 2, and the least amount of ones was 6. And the second, the tens went down by 1, and the ones went up by 10 because we took one of the tens and put it over to the ones. And then we took that 10 away, and it goes to 0 and 26. So 2, 1, 0, counting backwards. And then counting up, 6, 16, and 10 more, 26. And that was our math talk, how you made the different models for 26. So now moving on to the next page. On this page, these are some different ways to show 32. We have 3 tens and 2 ones, or 30 plus 2. And 2 tens and 12 ones, or 20 plus 12, where we took away one of the tens and traded it for ones. And if we take away this other 10, we end up with just 1 10 and 22 ones. And this is how we add. 3 tens is 30. 2 ones plus 2. 2 tens is 20. And 12 ones is 12. And 1 10 is 10, and 22 ones is 22. So we're going to move down, and the blocks show the number of ways, show the numbers in different ways, excuse me. The blocks, they show the numbers in different ways. And we're going to describe the blocks in 2 ways. So in the first one, we count the tens. How many tens do you see? Okay, that's right, we see 2. And how many ones do we see? There's 5, 6, 7, how many? 8. So we see 8 ones. So we can show 2 tens. What is the value of 2 tens? That's right, 20. And what is the value of 8 ones? That's right, it is 8. So here, how many tens do we see? So we're counting the tens rods, not the tens value. We only see 1 10. And how many of those little ones do we see? Well, here's 10 and 8. What is 10 plus 8? 18. And we show that 1 10 as 10. And we show 18 ones as 18. So for the number 28, here's the first 2 ways to show it. And in our last example of 28, do you see any tens? No, so it's 0. And so how many ones are there in 28 with no tens? There are 28. So we could say the value of 0 tens, that would be 0. And the value of 28 ones is exactly 28. Okay, so let's try it with 35. So we start out with how many tens? 1, 2, 3. And how many ones? That's right, 5. And in the next, we have how many tens? 2. And how many ones? Well, there's 10 and 5. So we have 15. Oh, and let's go back and show the value of 3 tens. When you count by 10, 10, 20, 30. And the value of 5 ones, count the 5, count the ones, and that is 5. So what is the value of 2 tens? Count by tens, 10, 20, and that is 20. And if we count the ones, we count by ones, but we know we have 15. So that would be 15. And here, do you see any tens? No, 0 tens. Do you see ones? Yes. How many ones altogether? Well, we know the number is 35. So we know that we have 35 ones. So we can show that as 0 plus 35. Okay, good job. Okay, so on our next page, this is on your own, but we still may do this page together. So the blocks show the numbers in different ways. Describe the blocks in 2 ways. So we want to just grab our pen real quick and underline what is important in the instructions. A lot of times, if we only read the instructions one time, we miss something and we forget to do something. So our verb here is describe, and it says describe the blocks in 2 ways. So how many ways? 2 ways. So, so the blocks do show the numbers in different ways. So here we have 43, and we have to count by tens and then count the ones. So at first we're just looking at the blocks. We're not really looking at the value. It's just like money. If you have dimes, you call them dimes. And you tell someone, oh, I've got 4 dimes. You don't say, oh, I've got 40 dimes. You say 4 dimes. And here we call these tens. So how many tens do we have? That's right, we have 4. And how many ones do we have? Those are like pennies. So you, with ones have the same value as the number of ones. So if there are 3 ones, they actually have a value of 3. So on the bottom, you see that plus sign? That means that we're going to take the value of 4 tens, or it would be just like 4 dimes, and 3 ones, which would also be like 3 pennies. So the value of 4 tens, we count by 10, 10, 20, 30, 40. Or another fun way to remember tens is that you take the number of tens and you just add a 0 after it. So that's 40. And then 3 ones is just like it sounds and looks. The value of 3 ones is 3. So what is 40 plus 3? Does that equal 43? Yes, it sure does. Okay, try this next one on your own. We're still going to have the number 43, but it looks like maybe 2 of those 10s have been taken away and turned into 1s. So count the 10s and then count the 1s. Okay, so how many 10s do we see? Remember, this is just like dimes. We only see 2. And how many 1s? Well, this looks like 10. This looks like 20, 21, 22, 23. So we've got 23 1s. Now, you could count them by 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, all the way to 23. But if you know what a group of 10 looks like, you can count by 10s. And so what is the value of 2 10s? That's right, it is 20. So we write 20. And what is the value of 23 1s? Well, it's the same, 23. So did you know that 20 plus 23 equals our number right here? 43. And then how many 10s do we have here? 3. Just 3, not 30. That would be the value. And so here's 10, 11, 12, 13. We have 13 1s. Wow, 3 10s and 13 1s is the same as 43. So the value of 3 10s, count by 10s, 10, 20, 30. So the value is 30. And the value of 13 1s is 13. Okay, now for the number 30. Wow, I don't see any 10s. So we'll put a 0 there. And I'm guessing 30 1s. And so the value of 0 10s, well, 0 always has a value of 0, no matter what it is. If you have 0 stars in the sky, you have 0. And if you have 30 1s, the value of 30 1s is 30. And 0 plus 30 is 30. So here, how many 10s? That's right, 3. And do you see any 1s? No. And so the value of 3 10s is 30. And 0 1s. See how these two are opposite? And then here we see 2 10s. Let's get our pen back. We see 2 10s. And then I see 5, 10, and we have 10 1s. So if you had 2 dimes and 10 pennies, guess what that would be? That would be 30 cents. So the value of 2 10s, 10, 20. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 1s is 10. Okay, good job. I hope you were able to do some of those on your own. So for math on the spot, I have 2 bags of 10 oranges. I also have 24 single oranges. How many oranges do I have? So let's watch math on the spot and see how they solve this problem.
Nice hat, Joey.
That's Detective Joey, ma'am. And thank you.
It must be very exciting to be a detective.
You got that right. Hey, maybe you would like to help me with a case I'm working on.
Sure, sounds like fun.
Well, it's about these oranges, see? Yeah. Could you please state the facts?
All right. We have 2 bags of 10 oranges. We also have 24 single oranges. So how many oranges do we have?
That's the mystery.
Okay, so what we have here is 2 bags of 10 oranges and 24 single oranges. Now, what does it mean to have 2 bags of 10 oranges? That means we have 2 bags, and in each bag there are 10 oranges.
That's right, ma'am.
So, isn't that the same as saying 2 tens?
Yes, it is.
Yes. There it is. 2 tens.
Ta-da!
1, 2 tens.
That's right.
Okay, now take a look at the 24 single oranges. That just means 24, a bunch of them in one pile maybe. Let's look at them like that. Okay, that's 24 single oranges.
It's a lot of oranges.
Okay, yeah, there are. And you know, as a matter of fact, we can group those, a few of those, into groups of 10. Take a look. So here is a group of 10 oranges. Here is a group of 10 oranges.
Yeah, I see,
right?
I see.
24 is 2 tens and 4 singles. Yes?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So now we're going to figure out how many tens we have, how many ones we have, and then we'll be able to find our number. Okay? How many tens do we have?
Let's look at the clues.
Well, let's count all the tens. We have, before we do that, we have 2 tens here.
Yes, we do.
And we have 2 tens here. So let's see how many tens we have all together. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 tens, right?
Yes.
Okay, now how many ones do we have?
We have 4 ones.
That's right, because we don't have any ones over here. But we
None.
do have 4 ones
right there.
Okay, so we're going to put a 4 right there. Okay, now we need to figure out how many oranges we have all together. How many do we have all together? So what does 4 tens mean? How much is that?
Well, that's 40, ma'am.
That is 40. 4 tens is 40. And how much is 4 ones? Just
That's
4.
4.
Yeah. So we're going to say 40 plus 4.
4.
And what does that equal?
Well, ma'am, that's 44.
That's right. 44. So the answer to our question, how many oranges do we have? It's 44.
Aren't you glad we solved the case?
Yes, it was a juicy one. Have fun with math, everyone.
So now let's see if we can do what Professor Rena and Joey did. I'm going to grab a little orange pencil. Okay, so we have the same problem. I have 2 bags of 10 oranges. I also have 24 single oranges, and I don't know why those are not in bags. But the question is, how many oranges do I have? Okay, so we're trying to find out. We should always know what our question is, and then find out what information do we have in order to answer that question. Well, we have 2 bags, and in each bag is 10 oranges, 2 bags of 10 oranges. But we also have 24 single oranges. I wonder how we can figure out the total number of oranges. Well, it does say to draw. That is our verb. And this is what we are going to draw, a quick picture. Remember, we've been practicing drawing quick pictures to show the number. So let's draw 2 bags of 10 oranges. Now, should we draw 2 bags like we did with the marbles and put 10 oranges in each one? That might be a lot of oranges. Well, since there's 10 in a bag, maybe we can just show 2 tens. And now there's 24 single oranges. So this may take us a little while having to draw. Go ahead, and we're going to have to draw 24. So what I do, I put mine in a line of 5, because if I put a line of 5 and then another line of 5 next to that, I'll know that this group right here is 10. And so I've got 10 drawn. Now, if I draw 10 more, that will be 20, and I have 24 that I have to draw. Then I'll only have to draw 4 more. So go ahead and draw those. So there's 10 more. So we have our 2 10s and then 24 singles. So there's 10, there's 20. How many more do we need? That's right, we need 4 more. And so that would be 24 right there. So if we count by 10s, 10, 20, here's another 10, 30, and another 10, 40, and 4 ones, 44. So all together, there are 44 oranges. So sometimes drawing a picture helps us understand how many we have. So moving on to the next page and our last page. Make connections. Fill in the blanks to make each sentence true. Blank 10s and blank 1s is the same as 90 plus 3. So we need to think about 90 plus 3. Well, how many 10s in 90? You know, if we just crossed out the 0, that would tell us. How many 10s is that? That's right, 9. And 3 is 3. So there we go. Now 2 10s and 18 1s is the same as blank plus blank. Let's count by 10s. Can you count 2 10s? 10, 20. Okay, so we'll say 20 for the 2 10s. And how about 18 1s? 18 1s is just like it sounds. 18 1s is 18. So 2 10s and 18 1s is the same as 20 plus 18. So 5 10s and blank 1s is the same as blank plus 17. Okay, well, let's look at this. 5 10s, what is the value of 5 10s? We can put that right here. Can you count by 10s 5 times? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So that number would be 50. So we found our answer to this first blank line by going back over here and looking at 5 10s. But the second one tells us, how many 1s? Well, we can look right here. How many 1s is that? 17. So 5 10s and 17 1s is the same as 50 plus 17. Okay, so that was sort of a mystery trying to figure out what the missing numbers were. You have to really look at the whole problem and try to figure it out. Go deeper. A number has the digit 4 in the 1s place and the digit 7 in the 10s place. Which of these is another way to write this number? Circle them. Now, if you remember, the 10s and the 1s, just think of it like this. Remember how we have this little T chart, and we have the 10s on one side. I'll just put the 10s on that side, and we have the 1s on this side. So let's underline the important information. We have a 4 in the 1s place. So let's put a 4 in the 1s place. And you can draw this on your paper too. And there is a 7 in the 10s place. So we put a 7 in the 10s place. We really have to pay attention. Sometimes they tell you what the 10s are first. And sometimes they tell you what the 1s are first. And in this case, it's the 1s. Now, if you look at this number right here, This number with 7 tens and 4 ones, I bet you know what number that is. Do you think that number is 40 plus 7? That would be 47. 70 plus 4, that would be 74. And this says 74. Do you think it would be, is that 4 tens and 34 ones? Well, we would have to figure that one out. How about 4 plus 7? Or 4 tens and 7 ones? Well, let's think about that. So we know that this is 74, and we know that 74 is 70 plus 4. And we know that 74 is spelled this way, so we can circle those two. 4 tens and 34 ones. Now this right here is a tricky one. Do you know that 34 ones can sort of be divided right down the middle as 3 tens and 4 ones? And if we added that 3 over here to the 4, do you know what 3 plus 4 is? It's 7. So 7 tens and 4 ones. 7 tens, 4 ones. So this is actually the right answer. Now 4 plus 7, who knows what 4 plus 7 is? It's not 74, it's 11, so that would not be an answer. And how about 4 tens and 7 ones? Well, if we reversed these, it would be right, but no, we have 7 tens and 4 ones, so that one's not correct. And moving down, which of these is another way to show the number 42? Choose yes or no for each. So if it does show 42, we choose yes. If it does not show 42, we choose no. Okay, how about 1, 10, and 42 ones? Well, that would actually be 52. So we are going to say no. How about 30 plus 12? Well, 30 plus 10 is 40, plus 2 more is 42. So that would be yes. 2 tens and 22 ones. Well, 22 ones means 2 tens and 2 ones. So if we added this 10 to this 10, we would have 4 tens and 2 ones. And 4 tens and 2 ones is 42. So that would be yes. How about 3 tens and 2 ones? Do you know what number that would be? Would that be 42 or 32? You're right. That would be 32. So that would be a no. So we really have to think. Sometimes drawing pictures might help. If you're not sure what these numbers add up to, you can draw a picture and count them, and that might help. Okay, well, that's it for math today. For 1.6, have fun with your homework and hope you had a good time.